Hello and welcome back to our Orc Shaman playthrough, and we're having a bit of a problem. Yes, we have a massive 1800 strong army from the Dukedom of Curon, I believe it is. Yes, indeed. They are attempting to besiege us. Now, we have 530, which is not exactly great. We're going to have a bit of an issue dealing with such an enormous enemy force, but, well, we have to. That's the point. We have to. We are forced into this. There is not much I can do. I could have left. Of course, you know, there's always the option of us leaving a particular siege defense if we don't want to do it. However, you know, to be fair, yeah, I didn't really want to do it, to be honest, because this is way too much in my opinion. But we can try our best, can't we? We can try our best and we can see what happens here. Now, the one thing that we're going to have here, I'm actually not entirely sure. No, we're definitely going to just... I'm actually not entirely sure. You know what? Should I just play this completely the way that I think? Or should we just play this by default? Because if I play this by default, I feel like what's going to happen is if I go here and we just basically, you know, put 38 on both sides, I feel like that's not going to be enough. But then I also feel as though... well, we kind of need to do we kind of need to do that? I don't know. It feels to me like they probably don't have... You know what? Let's just do it this way. Alright, we'll play it a little bit default here. I'm not a big fan of that because what I'd prefer to do is take my forces and put them in some weird, you know, out-of-the-way place and then just have them be absolutely slaughtering everything in sight whenever they appear. Because, you know, keeping every single person together, keeping all the orcs together, actually makes a huge difference to our overall efficiency and the ability of our, well, our shaman himself. You know, he can just do so much to help us out that way. But the way we're doing this right now, not really. Especially considering they do actually have a siege tower. I'm kind of a bit irritated that they had the ability to even build one. I did build some catapults in response to their attack, but yeah, that didn't really do much. Okay, yeah, so this is exactly what I was talking about. So these guys are going to be pouring in here really easily. And they have a battering ram as well. Oh, interesting. Okay, I was not aware of that. Okay, that's kind of not entirely sure. Can we do something with this? Not really. Not really. Alright, this is going to be a little bit problematic, isn't it? Yes. Well, we could just try our best, can't we? We're just going to try and hit as hard as we possibly can. Try to kill the... Oh, wow, we actually knocked him down. That's perfect. And, wow, there we go. Nice. Okay, that was a good hit. And, wow, they literally only came in with like 3 people. That's kind of weird. I'm assuming that they're all going to... Yeah, they're all trying to get in through over here, which is to be expected, I suppose. Let's cast this on these guys. Cast Call of the Green on them as well. And then we'll obviously see if we can get some kills here. And in the meantime, if I just go here and do this, am I actually going to get any kills? No. There is no way that I can hit through the gate by the looks of things. So that's going to be a problem. I did buff them, so that's pretty much all I can do. And how are we going on over here? How are we doing? It seems like we're actually doing completely fine, because the enemy is just running at us in a single file, which is absolutely hilarious. These guys really have no idea. Okay, there we go. Nice. A little bit of damage right there. Oh, look at that. I've almost got 200 spellcraft. Almost 200 spellcraft. That means we will be able to get, finally, a little bit of enchants. Maybe the final enchantment that we can even use. That would be kind of nice. Let me try and do some damage here while we can. And we're unfortunately not able to inflict as much as I'd like. Can we maybe not take any damage here? Can we kill these guys? Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm going to use this. I'm going to go back over here, because I obviously just buffed those guys. Just want to make sure that we are... Oh, what is going on here? Why are these guys standing in the bottleneck itself? They're actually giving themselves a bit of a... Oh, no, they're coming back out now. Okay, yeah, that's absolutely fine. Okay, yeah, so these guys are obviously not going to do much. And if we go back over here, no, we're absolutely fine. Okay, so how many have we killed so far? We've killed 111. We've lost 5, but most of the losses are just goblins, which, well, as you know, That's not really going to do much. That is absolutely fine. I have no problems whatsoever with losing a couple of goblins. That is generally... That's their MO, isn't it? You know, that's what they're supposed to do. And if I can make my way up... Here we go, here we go. Okay, this is obviously perfect. Let's do something like this. Buff everyone that we can. I think they... do they have the... Oh, yeah, yeah. It gives them, like, better damage reduction or something like that, right? Yeah, I think it does. Okay, let's try not to get ourselves killed here. I'm just trying to do as much damage as possible. Try to kill that guy. Okay, yeah, we're going to have some issues with this. I need to get away from here. Yeah, we're losing a lot of people now because a massive, massive wave came in from this side. And that's exactly the problem. So I'm actually just going to run away a little bit here, as we are actually getting ourselves murdered. Okay, we're going to actually tell our forces to come together now, and this is exactly the reason why I was wondering whether I should even do that. And this is pretty bad. This is pretty bad right now, because we just ended up losing 15 Black Orc bosses. That's really terrible. That is actually really, really bad. And, well, I need to not take any casualties, basically. I need to take extremely small amounts of casualties, because the only way we are actually going to achieve victory here is literally just by being as frugal, shall we say, frugal with our forces' lives. That's literally all we can really do. Even losing 15, I mean, I only have 80 of these guys, right? I only have like 85 Black Orc bosses or something like that, and 85 of them, losing 15 of them, and indeed even more now, is absolutely atrocious. That is probably one of the worst things that can happen. So we're just going to do this, going to do a little bit of a buff here. I'm going to use my Gaze of Mork here. There we go. Massive damage. 2,000 magical damage. Not too bad. I would love to have that cleaving spell right now, but unfortunately we don't. So we're just, well, shall we say cleaving enchantment. And let's see what we can do here. 6 seconds. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Let's tell our forces to charge in here. Make sure that they are being as aggressive as possible. Let's do that while we try to get some mana back. That would be nice. Winds of Magic. Give me that. And we do seem to be running them down pretty easily. If only we hadn't lost any people. If we hadn't lost any people, we'd probably be seeing a pretty likely chance for them to retreat at this point. But as you can see, we've lost, well, we've lost about 50 people, which is not great. It sounds good, you know, right? On paper, it sounds relatively decent, right? Oh yeah, you lost 50 in a siege when you were up against 1,800, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. You know, in the grand scheme of things, that's obviously great. But 50 gives them more morale. It gives them so much morale that they're able to pretty much do whatever they want. And that really makes a huge difference. As you can see, there we go. We did some massive damage with Gaze of Mork there. That's pretty perfect. Now, if we can actually do some damage here with Call of the Green. There we go. Let's buff everyone. And we need to get some more Winds of Magic. And then I can use... Oh, the snails. There we go. And how many have we lost so far? Yeah, we're losing even more people. We've lost 54. Yeah, I mean, generally, yeah. Okay, gonna have to tell our forces to hold position once again. All I'm gonna do is just play like this. We're just gonna play as I said, as frugal as possible. That's really the only thing we can do. Let's do this. Tell our forces to charge in. We need to make sure that they are being as aggressive as possible here as well. I need to be careful about taking too much damage myself too, because if I die, I think that personally, I don't really want to overstate it or even, shall we say, even understate it, but generally I think that if I die, I think that's going to be a loss. I think we will lose if I die. And that says a huge amount about how effective we can actually be. I feel like we are extremely, extremely strong here, especially from this kind of perspective. Let me see if I can... There we go. Let's do something like this. There we go. I don't really mind getting a handful of kills, as in, like, if I manage to kill, you know, 3 people, 4 people, or anything like that, that is perfectly fine with me, because that's removing potential damage sources from the board. And we don't want that. We don't want people to come along here and do damage to me, do damage to our forces, try to be as effective as possible. Okay, here we go. Arda's Nails once again. And let me see. What is actually going on here? Why are our forces having so many issues? I'm just trying to knock people down right now, as you can see right there. Yeah, we're... Are we okay? Are we actually okay? We've killed 522, actually. Never mind. Okay. Maybe we're going to do okay. Maybe we're going to do fine. Maybe I'm overreacting a little bit here. That might be the case. But I'm very worried about this. I think you can probably tell that I'm pretty worried about it. Because normally I'm thinking to myself, yeah, we've probably got this in the bag. But actually, this thing, it actually feels like a loss, you know? It feels like a loss. It feels like we are going to lose eventually, and I don't want that. I don't want that at all. So, if we can maybe get these guys to inflict some damage here. Come on, guys. Come on out. Get out. Yep, there we go. Thank you. They're coming over here. And maybe we'll see if I can get some more kills, if I can. I'm just trying to be careful as well. I literally do not want to die. So, we're just going to be as careful as possible. Let's tell our forces to hold position around about here. Just going to try to keep them as uniform as I can. That's pretty much all I'm trying to do right now. Maybe I can use Gaze of Mork here. Boom. Okay, yeah, as I said. I don't care if we just get 3 kills. That's fine. You know, 3 kills, 4 kills here and there. That really adds up eventually. Because obviously what we're getting is damage reduction. And that's what I'm primarily focusing on. That's why I spec'd into that career thing in the previous episode where it, you know, it actually provides us with damage reduction for our troops. That really makes a huge difference. Okay, so as you can see, we've killed 650 now. We ended up losing 70. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's cast this. Tell our forces to charge in. I'm thinking that we're going to try to retake the gate. That's what we're going to try to do. Because if we try to retake the gate, at least we've got a natural bottleneck that we can potentially use to, well, shall we say, make our presence known. Yes. The enemy is not going to really know what to do in that situation. They're probably just going to continue running into us and absolutely getting themselves murdered, which is exactly what we want, of course. So, yeah, actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use my Winds of Magic here, just, you know, specifically for our damage reduction. But I really wanted to use a teleport. But I feel like using a teleport in this situation is probably not the best idea. I'm going to use this. Okay, that didn't do as much as I hoped it would do. As I said, I don't really mind whether I kill anything dramatically right there. You know, I don't need to kill like 50 enemies, even though it would be fantastic if I was able to do that. But in this situation, what I ideally wanted to do is I wanted to at least hit a number of additional enemies. Maybe I can actually even do that. Okay, let's actually do this. Use Brain Burster. Boom. Okay, I did massive damage to my own forces, but I hit 62. 62 of the enemy's forces, which I think is pretty good, because our forces have so much HP that I personally believe that the enemy took much more damage than our forces did. Well, I guess. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to just retreat a little bit here, because we're stuck in the bottleneck. We don't want that. Going to try to inflict damage. There we go. Let's do this. Nice. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you very much. Okay. That is what we like. A little bit more of that, and we'll probably see ourselves achieving victory here without too many issues, hopefully. Let me see if I can use this. There we go. Buff ourselves. We've got some reinforcements coming in as well. It's good to see you, boys. All right, let's crump them. And that's exactly what we're going to do. That is exactly what we're going to do. Unfortunately, I am taking some significant damage. I know that a lot of people would like to see, well, maybe a few people, I don't know, would like to see me fight on the front lines a little bit more. But generally, when it comes to that, I always think to myself, I'd rather survive here, you know? I'd rather survive here than anything else. And we did manage to take quite a bit of damage early on from me getting ambushed. That was really very, very bad as well, because I literally just took free damage, basically. I just gave it away, pretty much, which was not great, you know, not great at all. Let me see if we can do anything here. Are we actually moving forward? I think we are actually moving forward. How many have we killed? 850. All right. Can we do better than that? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. I'm not sure. It feels to me like we're having a hard time actually pushing forward. We need to push forward if we're going to be retaking the gate. I'd like to retake the gate. I mean, it does have its own bottleneck. This is technically a bottleneck here as well, but I don't really like it as much as I like the gate, so I wouldn't mind. Okay, I'm gonna be a little bit careful here. Okay, let me see if I can do this. There we go. Nice. There it is. Yeah, absolute blind fire right there of a Gaze of Mork spell, and that actually worked out. It worked out very nicely. Let's buff ourselves, and I believe we should be able to retake the gate. I'm going to try to do some damage here. Try not to take any damage. Yeah, be careful, be careful, be careful. I don't want to take damage from any of these guys. There we go. Yeah, it's looking like... No, get that guy. Come on now. Look at them. They're actually surrounding one of our forces right here. This is not exactly great. Thank you very much. That's not what we want. Okay, now we should be fine though. Gonna use this. And round about there. Boom, look at that. Nice. And we've got our spellcraft at 203 now, which is even better. That is wonderful. And if I can just get over here, try to murder this guy a little bit. Nice, there we go. Okay, he's dead too. And I think we may in fact have a victory on our hands here. I'm just going to hold position. Gonna move my forces back a little bit. Then we're gonna charge back in. We're gonna just continue to surround them. That's it. We're just gonna continue to surround them as much as we possibly can. Let's see if I can use Gaze of Mork here. It's not a free spell, unfortunately, so I'm not going to use it right now. We need our Winds of Magic to remain as high as possible so that I can use Ardor's Nails as and when it comes off cooldown. We need to make sure that this is always used on cooldown. There we go. Another one done. And let's see if I can get the free version of Gaze of Mork. I might be able to, because it is going to run out in just a second. At least I think it is. Yep, there we go. It ran out, and now we can do some damage here. Boom. Okay, we killed a load of our goblins. That's not exactly great, but... Yep, there you go. All right. I should probably not do that in the future, should I? Yes, because I'm actually, partially killing a lot of my own people. I've killed 115 enemies. I've killed 115? Really? Okay, I'm actually kind of surprised about that. I wasn't anticipating that in any way. But... there it is. All right, I think we're probably fine here. There are only, I think they have, well, how many do they have? They have 1,800, don't they? I think they have 1,800. That is kind of harsh. That is actually kind of harsh. I'm not sure if we're even going to be able to do this. Yeah, this is going to be really, really pretty difficult in my opinion, but I guess we'll see what happens. And I'm going to wait and see if I can... What's actually going on here? What's this guy? Yeah, I want to use Gaze of Mork again, if I can, once this runs out. I'm also going to use Ardor's Nails, of course, as well. I'd like to use Brain Burster, but I don't think we can really... make that work. That's going to be kind of harsh. Okay, there's Gaze of Mork. Let's use it. Boom. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. That was perfect. Look at that. 14 kills for us right there. Not bad. Oh, it looks as though they might be retreating. Maybe? Are they actually retreating right here? I was actually starting to charge after them right now. Because I thought to myself, if they're retreating, I kind of want to push forward and try to use some spells to kind of increase that advantage. But it doesn't seem so. I think they were actually trying to bait us. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually going to go here. I'm gonna literally pull back here because I don't want my forces to get bottlenecked. Oh no, they are actually retreating. That's hilarious. Okay, there you go. Wow, that is hilarious. Look at that. That is crazy. I did not expect that by any means. Look at this. Almost 1,100 kills for the entirety of our forces. And look at that, 202 renown as well. I was very surprised to actually see them do anything here in regards to retreating. But yeah. We're going to take every single one of these prisoner. What is really funny about this is them being taken prisoner now. This is literally going to pretty much provide them with 0 defense if we keep them as a prisoner, right? If we keep them as a prisoner, it's going to be absolutely hilarious. It's going to be so funny. So I'm actually unsure what we want to do here. Do we want to kill off these guys? gain a significant amount of meat. Do we want to sell them? What do we want to do? Because we can't really do anything. We can't take advantage of the mercenary stuff anymore. So that's kind of unfortunate. I guess what we could do is take a lot of the higher tier ones and then just sell those to the tavern keeper. And then just leave the rest to be converted into meat. Because that is obviously going to make a big difference. Or it should make a big difference at least. So let's do something like this, I guess. 3,000. This sounds pretty nice. And wow, look at that. Nice leadership bonus as well. And we got 1 dragon blood. That's it? Really? 1 dragon blood? Okay. I'm not entirely sure what kind of enchants we can even use dragon blood for. I've never seen that before. So, yeah, I guess it... Well, guess we'll see. If we actually get to that point. We were able to complete that. We were able to complete that tier 3 quest. So it's going to take some time, of course. Okay, so, yeah, let's just go over here. Oh, Oglok the Shaman. Oh, hello. Yes, I would like to get him. I'd like to get him as soon as possible. It would be fantastic if we could get ourselves a Shaman here. It's 20,000. I'm not entirely convinced, actually, by the way, that having a Shaman is actually a good idea. Because someone told me that it actually crashes their game. So... that's a little bit worrying for me now, but, well, let's just see. Let's just see. Maybe it is going to be okay. I'm going to sell all of these. Wow, we're actually going to get a huge amount from this. Look at that, 51,000 in actual fact. Very, very nice. Okay, I'll definitely take that. Got no roguery skill for it. I guess we don't have any focus points in it, so that does make sense. Let's go into the dungeon here. Just put a bunch of our prisoners in there as well. They're going to remain there for quite some time. Hopefully, at least quite some time. And we're otherwise just going to recruit some people. There we go. Just recruit some people, and we'll just place all the humies in the garrison, of course. And that's what we're going to do. There we go. We obviously don't really want to take these guys with us, of course. Okay, yeah, absolutely fine. Okay, so we did end up losing another one of our trolls in that particular fight, which not a particularly big fan of that. But, you know, that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. Alright, so let's see here. I did get to 200 in Spellcraft, so that is amazing. That means I can actually do some really cool things with our enchantments now. And, well, I can't actually enchant anything, but, you know, I can do some other stuff. And otherwise, what else can we do? I guess Citizen Militia? I don't know. I mean, leadership doesn't really help us that much right now with that particular perk, at least. Okay, so what do we want to go for? Well, I probably want to... I don't want to spec into Steward. What about engineering? Do I want to spec into engineering? Sure, why not? What else is there? I could spec into roguery, I guess. I mean, that could be a thing. But, yeah. Okay, 10 more Mumbo Jumbo points. That doesn't really help me at all either, because I'm never really maxed out, which is quite funny, but yeah. Anyway, I am going to wait here for some time, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to try to restore ourselves, of course, and of course I am also going to try and see if we can recruit more people. Alright, so it's time for us to take Walloping Great Crunch, which is going to obviously be the most powerful enchant that we can get, possibly. But I have no idea how much it's going to cost us. That's the thing. I really don't know. So let's take a look. So we're going to just go here. Let's see. Okay, there it is. It's own... okay. That's actually not even bad, technically, right? That's not even bad. It's kind of bad, actually. Technically, when we beat that massive army, and we were able to take 9 of those guys, I personally believe we should have gotten 9 Dragon Blood, or at the very least we should have gotten, I don't know, 4, 5, something like that. But we ended up only getting 1, which is kind of harsh. We did get 140... What? We have 140 Blessed Water. Okay, wait a second. Is there anything here that actually costs Blessed Water? Of course there isn't. Yeah, isn't that hilarious? Literally, we get placed right next to Bretonnians, basically, and you'd think, oh yeah, Bretonnians, that's great, that means I can get a load of Blessed Water, and then we can do a load of enchanting and really, really cool things, but as you can quite clearly tell, it doesn't actually help you. Yeah, doesn't actually help you at all, so very, very sad there. Can't do much with that. And we're going to have to wait. Yeah, we're going to have to wait until we get 16 Dragon's Blood. That's pretty harsh. Yeah, that's pretty harsh. But we did get our last enchant, which is pretty nice. I did learn my other spells as well, by the way. So, Foot of Gork, for example. And, what's the other one? Here we go. Oh, yeah, here we go. That's the other one that we picked up just now. And let's take a look at our spellbook real fast. Okay, so we're just going to be placing this. I think I'm probably not going to use Brainburster anymore, despite the fact that I think it is actually pretty good. It's just, I don't know if I have enough Winds of Magic, you see. Do I have enough Winds of Magic to really use this as well as Foot of Gork? Probably not, right? So I'm going to take that away for now. Maybe it is going to be useful at some point, but right now I'm thinking I'm just going to try to conserve my Winds of Magic as much as possible. Alright, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get ready here, and we're going to go over to the Grove of the Lady, because of course we're auto-recruiting, right? We are auto-recruiting. Oh, by the way, I actually got a guy. Someone told me that bullies, as in the companion type, they have a lot of cunning, right? A lot of cunning attribute. So thank you very much for that, because I had no idea. You know, I'm not very familiar with the various types of companions for the orcs, despite having already played an orc. But yeah, Grove of the Lady, I already went here one time and did a little bit of a looting. Unfortunately, it's still locked out. Yeah. As I said in the previous episode, it's a global cooldown. I just want to be, you know, clear about that. It's a global cooldown, which means I think I already said that, but maybe I didn't. Anyway, the point is, it's a global cooldown, which means that every single shrine, whenever you loot one of them, is locked out for 5 days. So that's obviously going to be a bit of an issue, especially considering the fact that, well, we kind of need to do this. We kind of need to do this as best as we can, but yeah, I'm not sure how I'm gonna... you know what? We should really continue. I need to continue actually sieging stuff, so let's actually go ahead and do that, shall we? Okay, first of all, let me just go here. I do have quite a few teeth coming my way, and the reason for that, of course, is because I have been donating loot. I've been donating loot in a pretty significant fashion to the quartermaster, and we are now gaining 122 every single day, because obviously we do have an upkeep as well, which is quite funny, because 0, it doesn't actually matter, by the way, if you have 0. If you have 0 teeth, it just means that you can't upgrade anything, but your upkeep doesn't really matter that much. Okay, wow, there's a significant amount here. This is pretty harsh. I'm not sure if I'm even going to be able to take this, to be honest, but I guess we'll give it a go. I mean, I could technically go in there, teleport us inside, and then just have a grand old time. I think that's probably going to be what we'll do. I'm not really going to be, you know, sticking around here trying to take down the walls or anything like that. We're going to do it very aggressively. Alright, so here we go. Let's head on in, and we'll see what we can do here. Now, this is obviously going to be a little bit dangerous. I mean, I've got one troll. Us having one troll is not particularly good, I guess. That's one thing that is not exactly what you'd want, ideally. Let me see if I can do something here. Okay, wait a minute. The Hand of Gork. Let's see what I can do. I can't see anything. Okay. Wow, okay, I did that blind. Alright. Well, that worked. I'm not sure if... I'm not sure what they actually are doing right now. I'm going to tell them to charge in, because they are apparently wanting to just run around randomly here. Okay, Gaze of Mork, let's throw that up there. Nice damage. Good damage, good damage. And let's get Artist Nails on these guys, because they're the ones that are primarily, I guess, going to be taking damage. I actually don't know. But yeah, we should probably open up the gate here, because that's going to be one of our main entry points, I guess. Let's open this up. Hopefully the troll will come in. Hopefully these guys will... I mean, I can only hope that they're going to do stuff. I mean, I kind of hope they will. Okay, let's do this. I have 0 cost here. Nice damage. Hopefully. Yep, there we go. Nice. Decent damage. The troll is just standing there. Alright. Not entirely sure why the troll is just standing there. He should technically be able to come in here. You know what? I'm just gonna... Gonna just close the door. I'm just gonna close the door because he's just gonna stand there no matter what we do, and we kind of want him to do damage, right? We want him to do damage, so there's no point in me having the door open if he's not gonna do anything, right? So might as well. Now, I don't have any winter magic to be able to use Foot of Gork, which is exactly the reason why I was a little bit worried about that. Worried about using, you know, Brain Burster as well as, you know, because we barely have any mana as it is. So it's going to be extremely difficult for us to utilize something like that, despite the fact that it is going to be insane. It's probably going to be one of the most powerful spells that we've ever seen, and it would probably be amazing and really, really cool and all this wonderful stuff, but I just don't have any Winds of Magic to be able to use it. So, yeah, it's going to be one of those, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be one of those. Okay, let me just see if I can do something here. Nice, good damage. Nice little snipes. Nice little snipes. And I can probably... Yeah, I'm just going to speed things up a little bit here. Just buff these guys. And... Oh, hello. We're getting a lot of people coming this way. Well, don't really want to... I'm just going to run this way into my forces because I don't really want to get surrounded by these guys. If I can help it, that would be nice. Okay, wait a second. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Maybe. Let's see. I'm going to... I mean, you see what I've got right now, right? You see I've got enough mana to use Foot of Gork, so kind of want to do it. Okay, let me just see here. That's not really that many. That's not really that many either. Really? I don't really want to use it on just these people. I mean, it's going to absolutely destroy everything. Okay. Wow. That's it? Huh. I'm not sure how much it did. I have no idea how much it actually did, so I have no clue whether it was actually any good. But, well... there you go. Well, yeah, technically, I guess that was probably not the best idea. I guess that was not the greatest place to do it, which is kind of sad. Because I was kind of hoping that it would be something really, really amazing. I was really excited about it, but oh well, never mind. Okay. I guess we'll just do what we can do. And we'll try to inflict some damage here otherwise. I feel like I need a new two-handed. Is that just me? I don't know. I mean, the funny thing about this weapon is that it's a good weapon, don't get me wrong, right? It's a good weapon, but it feels so slow. And I do have 200 in two-handed skill, which kind of, well, I mean, as you can see right here, I'm doing basically no damage because this guy's right in my face. So that's the main problem that we're having here. If I can buff us, then we might be able to get a little bit more mana here. That would be kind of cool. And I wouldn't mind using Here We Go, to be honest. Let's do that. Boom, there it is. Yeah, we've got this in the bag, though. Oh, it actually buffs me, too? Oh, that's cool. Okay, yeah. I should probably do this much more. There it is. There's a victory for us. Very easy, actually. And look at that, 300 renown. That is insane. Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Give me more of that. Okay, so we're getting a load of teeth. I'm not sure if I really need that, though, in comparison to, well, taking all of these guys. I mean, that's kind of nice. Let's see what we can do here. Maybe try to level up some of these, get some more Black Orc bosses and so on and so forth. And there we have it. All right. Yeah, so we've taken a castle. Now, obviously the castle, I don't really care about it. I think this castle is basically pointless for me. But it does have the potential if we want to create lords, right? If we want to create lords, then we can give them this, you know, that kind of thing is definitely going to make a potentially big difference, I suppose. But yeah, we're just going to smack a whole bunch of money in there. And I don't even know what to really do right now. I think we'll probably just play a bunch of these tier 0s into tier 1s, and then the tier 1s into tier 2s. That sounds pretty decent. And then we're otherwise just going to be doing irrigation there. That sounds kind of nice. And then otherwise, oh yeah, Yeah. That's actually something that I forgot about. Wait. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Apparently they fixed that. They might have fixed that in this version of the mod. Because beforehand, I don't know whether I should even bother explaining this. But basically in the previous version, when we did the other series with the war boss, basically what would happen is if you owned, let's just say you owned 2 fiefs, and 1 fief had no loot piles, your income of teeth would go to 0. But as soon as you had any loot piles in every single fief, so for example, if you had 2 fiefs and you had loot piles in both of those, then you would be making the full amount of teeth that you would otherwise get. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope I explained that correctly, because my explanations are usually terrible. Yeah, so anyway, let's go into the traveling merchant. Let's have a look. Maybe we can find something super nice. Not really. Not really, unfortunately. Yep, not really. Okay, yeah, we can do a little bit of swappage if we want to do that. I'm not sure if we really want to, because, as I've said, it does depreciate really easily. And, well, my weight issue is not actually from my loot. My armor and stuff like that, it's not actually from that. It is actually from probably my meat, right? And my hogs and stuff like that, right? Yeah, so yeah, as you can see right there, we're just having so much of that. So I think what we could do is we'll probably let's take the Great Hammer. Why not? Let's take the Great Hammer, and then we'll take the Empire Lord's Helm, and this thing, and this thing, and yeah. Then we'll do a little bit of swappage, I suppose. And, well, there you go. Okay, that was easy enough, wasn't it? That was hilarious. Okay, yes, let's do that. There we go. Okay, so I paid 77. That's not too bad. And now we're going to be doing a little bit of damage to this fellow if he actually stays in the... Yep, no, they don't. Yeah, that's a very frustrating thing, actually. A very frustrating thing for the AI. They always do that. They always do that thing where they basically stay in a raid until you're right on top of them, and then they leave. Yeah, it's very annoying. I actually really miss the career options for the other classes. There are a bunch of other career options for example, some of the vampire classes that increase your speed, that increase your party's speed by a significant amount. And I actually miss that massively. I feel like these classes that we've played so far in the newest update, they don't have anything like that. So I feel like those are so useful. Really interesting to have speed increases, because that's one of the most annoying things about Bannerlord. When you have a large army and you want to chase after someone that has a slightly smaller army, but they're 0.01, you know, 0.1 even, 0.1 faster than you, and you just can't catch up. It's probably one of the most annoying things ever. But yeah, anyway, let's just go in here to the quartermaster. We're just gonna give him a whole bunch of stuff. Make teeth bags. We can now make teeth bags if we want to do that. I don't actually know what that even does, to be honest. So yeah, let's just do this, I guess. Right? Yeah, I guess so. Don't want to do too much, because I do actually want to sell some of this stuff. And we could do some shinies if we want to, but no, I don't think we will at the moment. Alright, so I think that's probably going to be it for this episode. We did an amazing siege defense. I actually managed to do it successfully. And we also captured a castle, which is obviously very nice. And I'm very much hoping that, well, I'm not entirely sure what is even causing us to have... I don't know. I'm not sure what's causing us to increase our prosperity here. I mean, yeah, I know it's surplus food, yeah, but they talk about in the manual. They talk about having a significant amount of loot and loot piles and so on and so forth, and that apparently is supposed to make your prosperity much higher, or shall we say, it's supposed to make your thief better in some way or another. So I'm kind of wondering what's going on with that, because I don't seem to see anything like that at the moment. So I don't know how that's going to happen, but oh well, never mind. I'm going to go for Physician of People. There we go. That's obviously quite nice as well. Anyway, that's it. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.